we are still continuing to, those were his often phrases used. And so we still stand by that. And you'll still see that in most, in all our learners as we breed as we wait for the modern dance to take the stage, we will be having entertainers with a poem. Flavian, Imali, Tangara, and Damaris, be ready with your poem. After the modern dance, you'll be next.
Just the three of us. No problem.
So to entertain, then we'll be having Flavian, Imali, and Damaris next to the poem. And let's have Samuel Gitonga ready also with your poem to entertain.
Genie X66.
Well, let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them. Whatever you appreciate, we'll always appreciate in value. Flavian, Imali, Tangara, and Damaris present a poem. Welcome. Flavian and Damaris are children of one of our staff reciting a poem.
Present a poem entitled Handwriting on the wall.
Underclass 1019HJS. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. A weary mother returned from the store, lugging groceries through the kitchen door. Awaiting her arrival was her 8-year-old son, anxious to relate what his younger brother had done. While I was out playing underdogs on a call, TJ took his crayons and wrote on the wall. It's on the new paper you just hung on the deck. I told him you'll be mad at having to do it again. She headed to the den to confirm her fears when she saw the wall. Her eyes flooded with tears. The message she read precise took her soul. It says, I love Mommy, surrounded by my heart. Thank you.
Very good. Let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. Next we have Samuel Gitonga with a Kiswahili poem. Samuel Gitonga, make your way to the front. Samuel Gitonga is one of our own from one, very courageous, very determined. Let's appreciate him as he moves to the front. We breed sky-bound eagles, and so welcome.
Gogo Bure tayari kuwakariria shairi lenye mada mihadarati, lenye mada mihadarati. Keti kitako, kiti ni chako, sako kwa bako hadi tamati. Mwenye mengi hanyamazi, hayafungi mtima, na ndipo na kuliwazi uwazi unaouma. Kwa hiki kipya kizazi chenye udhia daima, mihadarati bakubwa komeni kuitumia. Hizi dawa za kulevya ni hatari au shini, wanagenzi na wajuvya muweze kuepukeni. Walongavyo ungachovya ungadhurika mwilini, mihadarati bakubwa komeni kuitumia. Kisa kimoja wenzangu kilitokea shuleni. Wavulana sungu sungu walikuwa msala katiwa kinywani, mihadarati bakubwa komeni kuitumia. Walipoketi vitini utukutu na kani, mmoja alisimama, mwalimu kofi usoni, kalipata hima hima. Mihadarati bakubwa komeni kuitumia. Nyumbani alipofika alienda kitandani, kaichukua birika akaifanya pembeni, na bila kuwa na shaka ndiyo hayo ya kanwani, kubwa komeni kuitumia. Muda kabla ya kushiba kulibishwa mlangoni, nina yake kushiba kulibishwa mlangoni. Nina yake mwenye huba kajitoma humo ndani. Macho yake kayafumba kuona mwana afukani. Ratiba kubwa komeni kuitumia. Mama bila kutaraji alijipata kakabwa. Kagonga gongwa kwa paji jitu kali kama mbwa. Damu katoka jamaji sakafuni ja ubwabwa. Mihadarati bakubwa komeni kuitumia. Baada ya kumpiga mama yake kwa hasira, virago alivifunga maskani akagura. Genge kali aliunga malitelewa kapora. Mihadarati bakubwa komeni kuitumia. Shabash.
Well, let's appreciate him with a 3 factorial, our men of Starehe. Well, thank you so much. That is on drugs, mihadarati, and we insist that even as we teach in the syllabus in various subjects across the board. And still taking us through the mint mark. One of the other things I'll be talking about is integrity as we have the school choir move forward to present a piece, Starehe and Utamu wa Yesu. Let's have our school choir make its way to the front to entertain us. And as they come, talking of mihadarati and many other things, we stand for integrity. Starehe stands for integrity. And you know, we are in a society where there is a lot of corruption here and there. Without networks, you may not make it. And one thing we need to know, our guests, is that as we look at these boys seated before us, about 1,200, drawn from every part of this country. We draw more than 70% of our boys from needy backgrounds, bright but from needy backgrounds. And so in our today's society, you may almost think that coming from a poor society, you may not make it in life. But we instill in our boys that even if everybody is saying no and saying yes, yet no is the right answer, stand for the no. We instill integrity in our learners and in the entire community. We stand for honesty. We stand for probity. Now, especially in the face of this corrupt and self-serving society, we have to stand for what is right. And I believe even our parents, our caregivers, that is one thing we need to insist as we raise these skybound eagles, to stand for what is honest, to stand for what is true. And we must teach them, and we keep teaching them, to speak up for what is true and right, in good faith, whatever the consequences. That was words mostly used by our late founder, Dr. Griffin. And so we instill integrity. We teach our learners to be honest. And that is one thing that makes Starehe stand out. Welcome, the school choir.
Chuliari kamurake Aserere chauko ni boki chaki chuliari kamurake Ilosi kamurake iboki tinya meni boki teki dada Ilosi kamurake iboki tinya meni boki teki dada Aserere chauko ni boki chaki chuliari kamurake Ilosi kamurake iboki tinya meni boki teki dada Ko iboki chaki chuliari karake losi kamurake iboki tinya meni boki teki dada kikamko nyaki chun kamko nyaki dada kikamko nyaki chun kamko nyaki dada kikama kichun kikame kidada kikama kichun kikame kidada kikamko nyaki chun kamko nyaki dada kikamko nyaki chun kamko nyaki dada ikama kichun, ikame kidada, ikama kichun, ikame kidada. Okweba, okweba, iyari joy koku inalinya meningale kine kidada. Asere na kachudan, okweba, okweba, iyari joy koku inalinya meningale kine kidada. Okweba, okweba, iyari joy koku inalinya meningale kine kidada. Asere na kachudan, okweba, okweba, iyari joy koku inalinya meningale kine kidada. Asere na witunga ingale kine kidada. Ingale kine kidada, ikawisa baka pesul. Ingale kine kidada. Ingale kine kidada, asere na witunga ingale kine kidada. Ingale kine kidada, idawi jamo jonde. Ingale kine kidada. Ingale kine kidada, okweba, 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 asere, asere na kachudan, okweba, okweba, iyari joy koku inalinya meningale kine kidada. Okweba, okweba, iyari joy koku inalinya asere, asere na kachudan, okweba, okweba, iyari joy koku inalinya meningale kine kidada. Asere na witunga ingale kine kidada. Ingale kine kidada, ikawisa baka pesul. Ingale kine kidada. Ingale kine kidada, asere na witunga ingale kine kidada. Ingale kine kidada, idawi jamo jonde. Ingale kine kidada. Ingale kine kidada, usibo luka ojabwa. Kasuko akisuko, kasuko akisuko, kitao kajo kisi. Osibo luka ojabwa. Kasuko akisuko, kasuko akisuko, kitao kajo kisi. Osibo luka ojabwa. Kasuko akisuko, kasuko akisuko, kitao kajo kisi. Akisuko kitao kajo kisi. Akisuko kitao kajo kisi. Akisuko kitao kajo kisi. Kasuku kitao kajo kisi. Dumbele 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 dum, dum titi dum, dum de dumbele dum de dumba dum de dumbele dum de dumba dum de dumbele dum, dumba dum dum tiru, 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 dum dum tiru, dum de dum de dum de dum. Ah, dumba dumbe dumba de. Lile 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 mweze yule usioni nina raha tele utamu wa Yesu. Si kama nimechanganyikiwa bali ni utamu wa Yesu. Utamwe, nimeonja utamwe. Utamwe, nimeonja utamwe. Utamwe, nimeonja utamwe. Utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu, nimeonja utamu, utamu, nimeonja utamu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, umetenga mbali na dhambi. Utamu wa Yesu, karibu na Mungu. Utamu wa Yesu, badala ya Yesu, utamu wa 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 Yesu, vingine ni vitamu lakini mwisho vilio, vingine ni vitamu lakini mwisho mauti, vingine ni vitamu lakini mwisho vichungu, vingine ni vitamu, lakini mwisho vyawasha. Baba, utamu wa Yesu, Baba, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, Baba, nimeuonja. Utamu wa Yesu, Baba, utamu wa Yesu, Baba, utamu wa Yesu, Baba, nimeuonja. Mbinguni tunakwenda bure, uzima tumepata bure, wokovu tumepata bure, amani tumepata bure. Utamue, nimeonja utamue, utamue, nimeonja utamue, utamue, nimeonja utamue, utamue, nimeonja utamue, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu wa Yesu, utamu.
Let's appreciate them. Tumeonja utamu wa Yesu. Ndio manake tuko hapa siku ya leo celebrating our 64th Founders Day, this 15th day of July 2023. We don't take it for granted. We thank God for the beautiful sun shining on us. Thanking God for our learners, strong and healthy and well fed. Let us give the school choir another 3 factorial. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Moving on, we'll be having in a short while the SDA choir present, and as they prepare to present a piece, the other thing maybe you need to understand is what else does Starehe, what is Starehe? Starehe Boys Center and School is a charitable institution now established under the Kenya Children and Young Persons Act and its successor acts, with additional recognition under various other statutes governing education and community benefit organizations in Kenya. High School, a technical training institute offering accountancy and computer courses. Has a mission, and you may be asking, what is this mission? What is the mission of Starehe? The mission of Starehe is to provide care and education for boys in need and inspire them to transform into productive and exemplary members of society. In trying to achieve that, still going through what we stand for, we talked about commitment to excellence. We are committed to excellence. And under that we said, in a nutshell, we are breeding sky-bound eagles and not earth-bound chickens. And so our parents, our caregivers, our guardians, as you expect these learners to come home, expect to be seeing qualities of a sky-bound eagle. If you see any qualities of an earth-bound chicken, you need to know how to deal with that, so that we are raising eagles. We are raising people who will aim higher. And our motto is Natulenge juu, meaning aiming higher. And so one of the ways we achieve this also, we have said we stand for great courage, determination, endurance, and perseverance, and we instill that in our learners through their course of time in this place. And also we have talked about integrity, living in a society which is highly corrupt, with different things happening here. We have to teach our learners to remain honest and to speak boldly, speak up for what is true, what is right, and in good faith, and whatever the consequences, be ready to stand for it. As the SDA choir prepares to take the stage, the other thing we stand for in our mint mark, the Starehe mint mark, is self-discipline and self-leadership. And in this we ensure that Starehians respect always authority, right thing to do. And therefore they are always aspiring to be guided by their conscience, and many times at great personal cost. Here, a Starehe boy goes anywhere, a Starehian, so to speak, anywhere they appear as a leader. They appear as a disciplined person. They don't have to be told our learners. And so we stand for commitment to excellence. We stand for grit. We stand for to talk about our different stakeholders. We talk about organizations. We have different governments committed to this. We have our alumni committed to these prestigious positions, not just in Starehe, but also in this nation, and not just in this nation, but in every nation of this world. We have a feel of a Starehe, and so we are proud of that. And so the SDA choir, welcome.
Vilindini mwa shida na kulilia, napozuru wengi walosongwa na shida, na kusihi ewe Bwana nisikie, na kukimbilia e Bwana nirehemu, sikia dua zangu Bwana unapozuru. Ewe Bwana nisikie. Bondeni mwa mauti nipitiapo, umlinzi wangu mimi siogopi, gongo lako na fimbo latosha kunilinda, uwapo nami Bwana sitiki. E Bwana nirehemu, sikia dua zangu Bwana, dua zangu Bwana unapozuru wengi walosongwa na shida.
These are the famous words our late founder used. Famous words our late founder used in most and wrote at every opportunity in various way, as we talk about and wrote at every opportunity in various way, as we talk about the people in charge being accessible, consistent, and ready to explain. Even we continue to instill that we will not give up. As late Dr. Griffin will say, never give up, never give up. We are not about to give up, instilling those qualities that have Noah Oktoi entertain us. Welcome, Noah. Let's appreciate Noah as he moves forward.
Yes, my name is Noah Oktoi, and I'm here to present a song that I wrote in the beginning of this term. So the song is about a child who is suffering in the street, and this is because he has been abandoned by his parents, and he still has hopes that one day he will be with them. Yes. katika kazi. Ai, mjuane, mkutane, na huo ndio mwisho wangu na wewe, nawe ukawa mwisho wangu na wewe. I need my family home. Mama naye akachoka nami, kanikimbia na hata tambui, malezi nikakosa mami, mbona ukatoka jamani? Minaumia mtani na didimia, Mwenyezi kanijali na sidi pia, ibilisi kanijaribu na sidi pia, oh sinibia mimi. Oh 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 oh. Ah.
Guys are ready?
People to stay here. We have another section of the first aid and the rescue area. We have these areas scouting knowledge to design the first aid book and creating it also.
Thank you very much. This way.
Here is our garden. We're concerned about planting trees, so we plant different kinds of trees. And mainly, we teach our scouts such things such as grafting. We're concerned about food production. This to enhance the production. We also have how long does it take to set it up?
So to set up this thing, it takes 30 minutes. But before you get to that 30 minutes, you have to practice. Practice again and again and again.
East African competitions, the butter trains. And these are just visual aids that are used during our pioneer.
Thank you. So yeah, back to our troop leader. He will explain here.
As you can see, we have our quartermaster there, Mark, displaying the tent, how it's fortified, and you climb this place, leave it or not. So over there we have the hammock, that's the best thing we do. We have the bag rack over there, and the shoe rack, and at the side we have the hanging lights, so we wash our clothes, we just hang. We remove the ladder, go with it. And also the weather. When it floods, the water will pass under us, not with us. Yes.
I must demonstrate. I must demonstrate.
You're very sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Can confirm safety.
Thank you very much.
We'll die.
Okay. Come down. Ready?
Over here we have our final salute for you.
Yes.
At the end of our tour. Thank you very much for visiting our campsite. So, Parade Commander.
Ready at ease. Alert. At ease. Attention. Salute. Drop. At ease.
Thank you very much.
It was founded by Prince Philip and two other compatriots. They are authenticated by His Excellency, the President, the current government. So whenever there's a transition in government, the President automatically assumes the role of patron, the President's council.
I will lead you through the entire registration process and also how they get the certificates in the end. So upon registration, each participant is awarded with a detailed report of the activities you take in during each step of the process. When you finish your award, the level, for example, bronze, the award leader will submit your after which it will be taken to the international office based in London. Later, when you get your certificate, you will receive it at our annual meeting, which is we able to get 91 gold awardees. This is the highest level, and actually, very well. Thank you. Navigation skills. So it was realized that when the club was started, it did not have the maps and compasses, and people are losing directions, and people are suffering.
And this is just but a sample of what we have been able to collect over the years. And this, for example, is a tibia of an elephant. We have this.
So this is an example of safari. But for now, we only
Good morning, sir. Thank you. Welcome to the Round Square International Organization portal. Here we are a group of 4 students. I am Nicholas Okinda.
I'm Dylan Makuni. Briefing Miss Abdulkadir Sharif.
Thank you, sir. Round Square is an international organization comprising of more than 250 like-minded schools in over 50 countries around the world. And Starehe became part of the Round Square International Organization in the year 1990. And we held our first conference in the year 1996. That was international. And later on in 2015, we had a regional conference whereby students from South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria came in to just celebrate with us the kind of ideals that Round Square is underpinned on and the discoveries that we have on the other side as well. So, Starehe Boys, as a member of the Round Square International Organization, has been hosting events, just like I've said, and also sending delegates to different parts of the world. Just like you can see to my right, this was last year in September, and the friends danced the cultural music that we presented to the delegates who were present. Then the next day told us to teach them how to do it. So the kind of vigor, the kind of joy that we had and humor really made us, which took place in South Africa. The group of 3 boys here, Dylan and the rest here, they came to this Oliver Tambo International, whereby they landed from the first day. We had them here at Santon, and as you can see, it's invigorated with a lot of interactions, baraza presentations right here. And so this is what Round Square is all about, to bring about a world-class program that usually makes students to believe in themselves, that apart from academics, what else do you have within you? What else can you do and be a greater leader back in the world? Just like I've mentioned about the ideals, internationalism. Do you know how to interact? When you meet somebody new somewhere, how will you present yourself? How will you be? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That's it about it. Thank you so much. All right.
We'll show you a bit more before we settle. I did share with the letter we had sent.
You know, I didn't look at that program. I just
Right, okay. So we have a few more displays.
The program, I saw it's 9 actually.
Yeah.
I was very much relying on it.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, gentlemen. So we've got our chief guest, Mr. Mohammed Hassan here. So quickly.
Thank you, sir. My name is Ramadan Abdulatif, and I'm the president of the Science Engineering Club. It's a part of Starehe where we not only advance on our academic aspects, but we also advance in our skills to apply in the world and achieve our highest aspirations. To begin with, we have the mini modern garden, which I'm going to introduce Mr. Silas Anyona and Jad come out to take us through.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is Silas, and my colleague is Joel. So our project is titled the Mini Modern Garden. As you can see, this is the prototype of the garden. It has been made mainly to curb the agricultural problem in modern areas. So it goes to the point. It saves it addresses 2 problems. first of all is the land space and water. So our project, as you can see, we're supposed to have a tap here, tank, which will be the main water supply. Then we have a pipe here that has perforations to drip the water on the farm. So first of all, about land, saving land space, you can see it is dry, it is 3 layered. So instead of having these 3 layers adjacent to each other on the ground, we're having them just in series in a vertical manner. So that space, that is like another earth on another earth on another earth. It is saving on space.
3 universes, eh?
Yes. So it's like a multi-earth. Then you can see we have it cuts the problem of monocropping. We have managu here. I'm a great fan of managu. We have spinach. We have this one is tomato sack. So this one can feed a group of a family of 10 in 3 weeks, as you can see. Yeah, in 3 weeks. Yeah, if it is well taken care of. So on the advantages of the project, it saves. These are the advantages of the project. On economic benefits, it gives financial saving. Let's say you are a mamboga, you can be able to get your projects from here. You can have multiple of this in your area if it's Oshago or if it's an urban area. So financial savings, and also instead of going to buy food, you can have this. Imagine 10 guys eating from this in 3 weeks. That is a lot of money, sir. For example, if I take a real life example, we can use 100 shillings to buy vegetables in 1 day, but in 1 week you can save around 700 shillings, sir.
Thank you very much, Cyrus. Thank you.
That is a prototype of our project, sir.
All right, thank you.
Zienda kwingine tumetupwa. Sorry.
It's just coming. I'll be able to guide you through exactly what you're going through in the demo.
We are certified first aiders from Central Ambulance and ready to assist in the situation is the safe. May we proceed? Okay, number 4, help me locate the nearest cell phone booth and call for emergency help. Get us the first aid, please. Number 3, go. Okay, checking the torso, checking the cranium, checking the abdomen for any injuries, checking the pelvis, checking the pelvis, checking the phalanges, checking the blood. Checking the no blood from the left arm to the left arm of the leg, no blood in the phalanges. Right arm is okay, no blood is bleeding. The breathing is still normal. Checking circulation. Circulation is okay.
The event is just apply some bandages and compression on it. It's not stable, but still cautious. It's not such a level. Okay, thank you, sir.
You guys are good. Like doctors. Wani wauguzi. Already doctors.
So before you use our smartphone, we tend to bring information to the house. So because of time, we just show you some of the things the projects we handle.
Get it for our investigation. Prepare for it by putting up fire extinguishers, lamps.
Mexico and Kenya, there is Shanghai.
Shishing. So once I say thank you,
Pen art, pen and pencil art. For example, this one is used to
present the feelings of the art of the artist, how he feels is what he does is the different, I mean the different part of what he feels about the picture. The other one is the different part of what he feels about the picture. And here we have now this one is an artist, an actor, an actress rather. It was drawn by Boaz. Then we have this girl here. They can go through all of them. But these ones these are pieces of art which they show emotions, they show feelings, and yeah, all that. Okay. Then we also have others on the chair. On the tables we have this although we have others. Yes, I want to see this one. Yeah. Okay. His works in progress. Thank you very much. From here, it's more one on this side. So, sir, here we have a special presentation for you, and we will give you the honor to reveal yourself, see what you did. Oh, this is myself. They tried, they did a good job. They tried. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Keep it up. Okay, thank you very much. My pleasure.
Good job, guys. Doc.
This was done by Shell, right?
Yes. Almost.
Today is a guest of honor, sir. Thank you for honoring our invitation to come and grace at this occasion, this auspicious day, the 64th Founders Day celebration on this 15th day of July 2023. Welcome to Starehe, voice of sky-bound eagles being bred to see a transformed society. We welcome you. We are honored to have you this occasion, this 64th Founders Day, the 64th Founders Day celebration on this 15th day of July 2023. Welcome our guest of honor, sir. We are so much honored to have you at this occasion. So honored to have you honor our invitation to be with us this day, to see what God has been. Welcome. Let's be upstanding for our national anthem, followed by the East African anthem. Thank you. We are going to remain standing and let's have our school chaplain, Mr. J.C. Wangoto.
The gift of life and for the gift of one another. We are assembled here today to celebrate the 64th anniversary. We offer thanks for your divine mercy. We offer thanks for your divine mercy that has enabled the ideals of the founders implemented from so humble a start. We stand here before you this day. We ask you to bless Starehe now and in the future.
Our guests to take their seats. We are going to have next our school song. We are going to have our school song.
Founders Day reading, Ecclesiasticus chapter 44, verse 1 to 15. In their habitations. All these were honored in their generations and in their habitations. All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times.
Our guardians, the old Starehians, our staff, well-able staff, the men and ladies of Starehe, welcome well. We have well-prepared pieces of entertainment which are going to be served hot, and so I wish you sit well, stay tuned. One thing we enjoy in Starehe is the diversity of culture, and therefore we are going to see a display of different cultures. We are going to have
medley of performances straight from the coast, the Druma community. How are you? Welcome to the Nyanza region. We have the Luos and Kisis.
Appreciate them. I hope we have heard the advice to Stella.
Atiti mgoli, atiti hane kunywele. Serengera, serengera mupira, serengera, serengera, serengera mupira oh oh kane kunywere mupira serengera hatiti kunywere hatiti kane kunywere mupira serengera 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 mupira serengera serengera mupira serengera serengera mupira serengera
Have the march past by the Scouts and the St. John's Cadets. Welcome.
Jambo sa, odine robi trupari.
Those are our Form 1s. Those are our babies of the...
Moi Center. We are very, very happy to receive you. We are very, very happy to receive you on this occasion of our 64th Founders Day, the COVID-19 pandemic. And as we came back on the 21st of January, we chose the theme for the year, celebrating that we're alive, that have passed on. No more academic calendar, no more academic calendar, and we have more time of the complement required. In our usual spirit of temperance, we have made every effort for over 5 years now to have this matter addressed. It's a based curriculum, CBC, and we have work to do in that area as well. Finally, among the challenges, some of them having to defer their course or even drop out. Members of society, they're supposed to be and eventually come back to contribute to Starehe. Griffin, he said, my personal belief is that any scheme for the needy receives something special by one Beatrice Nyakeriga, the head of student welfare, Mr. Patrick Waithaka, and the head of finance, Mr. Mo. One of the challenges we faced with that exam, and examiners involved in marking came back to report widespread examination. I would like to invite Mrs. Botter to come forward as we recognize. The teachers. This physics achieved the best in sciences with a score of 9.59. We'll explain some of the best performing department in humanities from the CRE department. Madam Millicent Gaki. Team, we have Brian Kisembe. Health, food, accommodation, and ensuring peace of mind. And this is also supported by the prefectorial leadership in the framework provided by the Teacher Service Commission. Within Inspired Transformation, these are the activities that are helping with external events like the Mata Hat Run, the Starehe Girls Center charity walk, and keeping us busy here every week. We also hosted the Griffith Memorial Sports Festival, generously supported by Vivo Energy, and over a dozen schools participated, which Geturo House won, and the annual sports day where Round Square House took the trophy. Invested 50 new scouts, and they are currently raising funds to travel to South Korea 15th August for the World Scouts Jamboree. Round Square, whom you also saw, have been busy. Class of 2022 members was awarded a scholarship to study a 2-year IB program in Switzerland, and that is none other than Rogers. Because English and Kiswahili are very important subjects and have been pulling some of our students down, and I invite any parent, guardian, or alumni hopes to teach Chinese language, culture, and art, and hopefully some of our students can end up in Chinese companies. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite the president of the Old Starehian Society
of trying to navigate all that. he did of trying to navigate all that. He did many things to try and make sure that the best Starehe is providing students with exposure to Internet of Things. This is what he said in his documentation in the Score Mastery about will stand strong forever. Friends, and I would like to invite all corporates represented here to back him up to a free man, and because it's noble.
You have seen a little bit of what we are doing, and you will in your own way support us. If you're a parent or staff, please come forward as well. Fred? But I understand the dummy for GMET is not ready. The trustees of GMET who are present. It is ready now? Okay, all right, come and present it. Sorry, chief guest, yes.
And your lunch.
Preside over the next presentation. Please welcome Mr. Fred O'Connell.
Distinguished guests, parents, my brothers from Starehe Boys Center in years past, and my sisters from Starehe Girls Center, our current students. Being in Starehe is wonderful, especially on a day like this, when we see our young people do such wonderful work in such a wide room, in community service, in a whole variety of things. This is what Starehe was founded for. Our late director, Dr. Griffin, when asked, he aspires to raise young people who will take a stand, have an impact, and make a difference. I would like to think that this, after our founder passed on, it is a mission that I ardently pray that so long as Starehe exists, like recognize the distinguished ones amongst our students, and in keeping with the Starehe tradition, we do not just focus on academic prizes. Because our ethos is about raising a whole man. It's about developing all aspects of the young people that used of our high achievers as they receive their rewards. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Starehe, and we look forward to continuing to partner with all of you in...
Before Mr. Njiri comes on, I would like His Excellency Ambassador Jimmy Askar, please to stand up so that we can recognize. He's the ambassador of Nepal, representing 6 countries, and this is our internationalism well represented. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director. Our guest of honor, this is the list of prize winners on this 64th anniversary of the OSS. Thank you very much. We also have Equity Bank, Molan Publishers, and TBC, that is Textbook Center. Now the prizes are listed in such a way that in Form 1, each top student is awarded, and then for Form 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I have the subjects, the best student in a given subject. To start us off is Form 1, and Form 1, I would like to request TSC Director, a sub-county. Number 2, Form 1, you have actually come here for a lesson observation in Form 1. Thank you, Director. So Form 1A, Paul Newton Clark. One C, Christopher Jemos Mboya, Wasike Misiko. 1E, Morgan Kamaungure. And those among the top 10 in the form, Calix Juma, 1F. Rajan Wagetumbi Muithi, 1F. Thank you so much, Director. You have noted 1F. You were in that class. Form 2. Director Starehe Girls. So Form 2, 2A, Trevor Makelo and that. To C, Stephen Wachira Mwaura. And 2G, Sorudin Salo Aden. Among the top 10 in the form, Arafat Hassan Abdullahi of 2G, Director Starehe Girls. We now go to Form 3. I would kindly ask in 3E, Abdul Kadir Sharif Mwangi Mudhoni. Among the top 10 in Form 3, Levin Wesonga from 3F, Asa of 3F. Thank you so much, Murat. 4C, George Harvey Jr. For F, Brian Kiplono. William Nyamukiura, 4G. Abel Kipchumba, 4B. We start with chemistry. I'll ask Engineer Patrick Obath to present physics. Junior, we have Vincent Kiplangat of 2F for biology. Okay. So thank you so much, Engineer. Biology, given. Senior, we have Jonathan Mulonza Mude of 4E. The Medic's Shield was donated by old boys who are made for him. So the Daniel Manzo Prize goes to the fourth former who has best results in English, Kiswahili, and Humanity subjects, and who is therefore likely to join the ranks of of the Form 4 Scholar of the Year, who has made tremendous improvement by rising 100 positions. He moved from position 228 to position. And the senior, Dennis Jeroho Maina of 4B. Kiswahili Junior, we have Layan Bek. Senior, Muhammad Adan Abdullah of 4B. Of 4B. Who also takes the dosage. Computer, we have Edwin Odwor Wesonga. I'm told I skipped music. And the chair will conclude the academic shield worn by Jonjo House. 2 Drama Club, Science and Engineering Club, you saw their project, Debate Club, Art Club, School Band, Scouts, Learning Trophy presented by Leland Duff. Those days is won by Round Square House. The Tiru Koka are also proceeding to the regionals. The Uniform Distributors Trophy for Athletics. The Buru Shield for the Best Sportsman of the Year is won by Suleiman Abdi of 3C. Well done, Suleiman. Had the best performance average and so takes the Interhouse Games Shield. Winner of Standing Extra Curricular Achievement is won by the School Band. House, which in the opinion of the director followed the spirit of peace, love and unity, is again Pele House. Mugerwa Shield, dedicated to leadership. Jimmy Mugerwa Shield for dedicated leadership goes to the outgoing school captain. The winner of the Morioka Achievement is won by the School Band. You have really entertained us. Thank you so much, the School Band. Morioka Shield, Outstanding Extracurricular Achievement. The Jimmy Mugerwa Shield for dedicated leadership has already goes to Eric Joroge. Finally, sir, come to the Boy of the Year Award, given to the outstandingly industrious and well-behaved boys. C. And senior is Franklin Kiplimo of 4B. Now it is open. You can start working for a position for next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Njiri and the prize-giving team. Let us give them a very hearty 5 factorial. It is now my pleasure to welcome the chairman of the managing committee to make his brief remarks and to welcome our chief guest. Please welcome the chairman.
Thank you, Josephat. Mr. Mohammed Hassan, I recognize also the presence of the the Board of Trustees of Starehe, my friend Engineer Obath, the President of the Old Starehean Association, who is with us today as well. Thank you for your presence, Daktari. There are several members of the Managing Committee who are here with us. Could I ask them all to be upstanding so that they can be recognized by everybody who is here? Thank you. Thank you. We have Sister Saita, of course, the director, and Madam Sarah Ituku, who are here. Today is, of course, Founders Day, so I think it is important to once again recognize the members of the families of the founders who are here with us. Please be upstanding. Thank you. I understand that there is even a student who is a granddaughter of one of the founders. I think a student in the girls' school. I don't know whether she's here. Is she? Could she also be upstanding for recognition? You're also a representative of the founders. We have, of course, senior officials from the Teacher Service Commission, the director who we saw giving prizes. Thank you for your presence and thank you for gracing this occasion. We have, I think, also from the Ministry of Education, any representatives? And finally, to the senior leadership team, the staff of Starehe, I recognize you for the work that you have done. And of course, the men of Starehe, or our students, we recognize everything that you have done to raise the name of Starehe. I had a long morning today because I had traveled to the south coast and somehow my flight was cancelled, and I decided to make my way from Diani to Mombasa. It turned out that there was a go-slow at the ferry, so cars were taking about 3 hours to cross the ferry. I was finally advised that if I was to make this function, the only way was to pick my suitcases and cross on the ferry on foot. So I carried my suitcases, came across, finally made the flight and arrived here, having woken up, I think about 4 or 3:30 in the morning. So I was feeling a little tired when I got here, and then the band started playing. And for those of you who know me, I like good music, and every time I come to Starehe, the band inspires me. Now, the sleepiness left me, the excitement, the joy. Thank you very much to the band, not in any way involved. This is something that was as much a surprise to me as it was to everybody else. But really, I really do appreciate, I have to say, the band, the way they managed to play modern songs in a different setting. Really brings to life what Starehe is and brings alive. So, Mr. Njiri, if you can think of a new award for members of the band, whether it is the most creative or whatever it is, please let me know, and next year I'll make sure that there is a trophy for them. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I was asked to come by the director, he emphasized the word brief comments. And as you can see, I have come with no papers for my address. If the day I come with papers, then you should be prepared to have a long wait for your lunch. But I will talk about just 2 or 3 things that are important for Starehe and remain the focus of the managing committee. As many of you will have witnessed, in a stabilization of Starehe back to where Starehe was. And that stabilization has taken place in 3 things. The first, And I make this order specifically and deliberately by saying that first, I think it is a very deliberate philosophy that has guided Starehe, and I believe should be a philosophy that guides the development of the numbers regarding the finances of the institution. And we are able to say now that we have stabilized what we can call the operational. Nevertheless, we still have challenges, and I have talked about earlier the challenge of developing and maintaining the infrastructure that we have. I'm sure our chief guest, when you walked around, you could see that some of the buildings are 64 years old. Not all of them, but many are, and they are starting to show their age. They are also required development of educational requirements that need to be funded. And whereas we remain eternally grateful to those who office as many times as it takes, eternally grateful to those who office as many times as it takes for us to get the support that we need. But we will certainly be coming to you for that, because as we look forward, I'm sure that many of you will know that we set up as a managing committee a process of leadership, structured leadership transition for Starehe. And you will witness, I will of course not go into any detail today, but you will witness as we move forward through the rest of the year and into next year, have left there are others who come and join, and that process of transition within the student body takes place seamlessly. We would like to believe that in the future, in the management of the school, but also within the other leadership organs, should continue to happen seamlessly and in such a way that. So more about that later in the year, but just to mention that the process of leadership transition will be on our agenda over the next few months and probably over the next year. Finally, as we now look forward, we have stabilized the base. And I think the president of the OSS alluded to this. Starehe was a pioneer in many educational concepts. As far back as 1983, I think a computer lab was. I can tell you that that is the year when I joined the university as a young engineering student. I had never seen a computer in all my life. I think I saw one. There was one somewhere to see a computer for the first time in the university. That time Starehe was setting up a computer lab. You can see how far-sighted and to succeed in working life. We all know about the presidential award scheme, the support that Starehe has offered to St. John's Ambulance, and really, what followers, we are leaders. We are not settlers, we are pioneers, innovators. So as the country transitioned for us, we have to take back that position of being pioneers, of being leaders, of being innovators, and be part of the institutions that find the place of Starehe again, become leaders and innovators, be the ones that show the way forward, and not just once again our position of leadership, our position as innovators, our position as creators, and be the example that other educator students for the future of work, both academically and in other senses. So really, what is the place of Starehe in an evolving educational landscape? I hope that these remarks, I will say thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you to the band for waking me up. And
Thank you very much, Chairman David Maridi, by my good friend Adil Kawaja. When I was invited to be the chief guest at this 34th Founders Day, I had no hesitation in saying yes. Starehe is a household name in Kenya, and I'm acutely aware of the numerous lives transformed by this institution. Unfortunately, other commitments do not allow me to be here today, but I am ably represented by yours truly, Mohammed Hassan, whom I hope will receive you as you have received me. The story we have been told about Starehe is incredible. I believe provides a deep lesson. Youth officer associated with the enemy, and the others were detainees considered dangerous terrorists classified by the level of risk they each presented. One was the son of a colonial police officer. The others were villagers from Kirinyaga, Kiambu, fighting for the freedom of their country. These three men from these very diverse and conflicting backgrounds were able to put aside their differences and come together to invest their entire lives in transforming the lives of young boys who would have had no hope in life. That is a powerful story worth emulating by a nation in the world. No wonder Starehe is able to attract such world leaders as the late Senator Robert Kennedy, the late Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, Her Royal Highness the Royal Princess Anne, and sports legends like Pele and Muhammad Ali. You have also produced your own sports legend in the reign of Paul Ereng, the 800-meter gold medalist for the 1988 Seoul Olympics. With over 15,000 alumni drawn from every corner, risen from almost insurmountable challenges and risen to high echelons of society in business, politics, public service, organizations, we as a country have much to learn from Starehe. I urge these alumni to make themselves felt in every sector in society, from obscurity and indignity of poverty to a position of dignified contribution to the nation and the world. Every nation seeks the success story of transformation, of creating self-belief. Imagine the joy and hope you have brought to the families and the communities across the breadth and length of this nation. Right from inception, Starehe had risen up against the insurmountable odds from oppositions from the local population, which your first patron, the late Bomboya, was succeeded by his colleague and friend, His Excellency the late Mwai Kibaki, the third President of the Republic of Kenya. President Dr. William Ruto, to grace the occasion of your 65th Founders Day next year. I hope that well before the date, the problem you have cited. Once I'm done with this speech, I'll give my 2 cents on that. I understand that another challenge that remains is the support required by young alumni to complete their tertiary education and settle into the professional and business life. The director advises me that you now have an initiative to establish a support and partnership program to provide some limited help to those who most needy. This is a noble way of ensuring that their promising lives are not interrupted by the financial challenges they face in the tertiary education. I am happy to provide my own contribution to this program. This partnership to work with the center. I I have also heard from the chairman about your initiative to build an infrastructure fund of Kenya shillings 2 million, to help renovate and renew the center. Once again, whatever help can be provided towards the endeavor will be done. My visit today will be most fulfilling. I congratulate the team of the center for continuing with the efforts of the founders. The cohort of Kenyans with a foundation of productive skill, exemplary character. The government's quest to transform the socio-economic institution framework to benefit the great majority of Kenyans, especially those at the bottom of the. This nation has much to learn from Starehe. We owe it to ourselves to do whatever we can to support Starehe's noble mission. I wish in all your endeavors, and I assure you of my voice and support. Thank you very much. Okay. Mr. Adil Kawaja had informed me that he has done some small harambe, and he wants to pledge 2.5 million from Safaricom, 1 million from His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, himself, and I will what they call kusindikisha. I will sindikisha that with 100,000 shillings. I think you have heard from Adil's speech. He talked about the issue about teachers, and I will take it upon myself, if I'm right. I don't know if that's the right number. The target of getting that deficit of 116 over that period of we had structured the last, I think, 10 or 15 years, is that the universities were being given money by Treasury directly. President and higher education fraternity, we have sat down and came up with a way to try and solve that problem using means course. So the issue of the university dealing with the ministry disappears. The issue of the university not having money to be able to deliver on their work also disappears. So if you have been following very closely, that issue on the tertiary fund, I think is being solved, because for the people who cannot be able to pay on the means scoring, the government will give a certain amount of the people who can afford, the government will give a loan. So everybody will be given a bursary plus a loan or a full loan, so that 150 to, I think, dentistry, which is about, I think, 720,000 shillings. And those are the things that we are trying to do so that we can sort out the issues that you're talking about. Chairman has put it here, and the director. I think the founders of this institution, and again I want the members of the founders to stand, and we tell them thank you very much for the work that they have done. They are parent gentlemen. And I was having a chat with both the director and the chairman here, and I was asking myself, surely you cannot have 5,000 shillings a month. And I was just looking at the data with the director, and I was telling myself, the last 30 years, maybe the people who have passed through this institution are about 8,000. Why would we say that we cannot raise the 240 million shillings, and you have eminent persons? I think 30 people in my class were from Starehe at the university.
7 factorial. Can I invite the prize giving team and the band to form very quickly? The supporters that I recognize, we actually have tokens for you. If you have Frederick Ndegwa, Eston Kimani, Captain Isaac, KCB Bank, Education for All, Novozymes, and class of 1990 and class of 87, 89. If you can come forward, we can present a token of appreciation to you. The other group I want to finish with, so that this is left on top of our minds, are members of the class of 2022 who achieved exceptional results, the top 10 students. At number 10 with 11.38 was Daniel Chacha Mwita. Let us give each of them a hearty 5 factorial. At number 8 with 11.50, that's an A for Chacha Mwita and another A for Brighton Ouma. I think a 3 factorial is easier to do. Can you give Brighton another 3 factorial? At number 5, we had 3 people tied at number 5. 11.63, another A, Gerard Wamukoya. 11.63 again, Stephen Osiago Nyakundi, another A. 3 people at number 2 at 11.75, Brian Weru Komo. Anthony Mutharimi Karia. And our heading to Switzerland, Rogers Mawala. The top student had an A. May I invite our chief guest and the chair to please come forward to present this to this gentleman. And Nick Masila, just for recognition. Very good, just join this group. Nick Masila has been working with our team, Northwestern. Nehemiah Kiplagat heading to Columbia. Charles Agengo heading to Princeton. Let us recognize all of them with a hearty thing. Sorry. We left anybody. We left anybody. We haven't come yet. We haven't. What of that sister?
It is my present duty at this 64th Founders Day, with your permission, sir, I wish to move a vote of thanks by observing, like you have done, enjoying, being entertained, guiding in speech with respect to circumstances. And today, you are on another one, a brief one and memorable, that is managing a transition, that is out loudly in his language. What Starehe would be without old boys. I didn't understand it. Now I do. Mr. President, you are done a lot. I've been around for quite some time, and I know, starting from this hall, you went to Jonjo, and others, bakery behind there. Supportive activities is long, and what you have done in the past is not easily forgotten. A bit of those activities here today, and you are entertained. I know the effort and to guide these people in their initiatives.
And efficiently from here. When we leave the quadrangle, we will be going for some. When we leave the quadrangle, we will be going for some refreshment for ease of service. EC classroom, which is the sort of new building that is right next to the library. Our Mission Foundation staff, who are our latest organizational partner. One of them, Mrs. Catherine Rimberia, came to visit us, Orlando. If I could ask you to please stand, both of you, if we could please give them. Shall we now please be upstanding for the national anthem and the retreat?